Hello and welcome to Forge in Aeternum. I'm your host, JR, and I'm here with Ramil and Brian.
Hello.
And we wanted to talk about Capture the Flag. As we talked about in the last video, the next game mode coming to New World is called Capture the Flag. And we're going to be previewing one map at the beginning of Season 8 and then another map towards the end of Season 8. But today we wanted to dig in, do a more deep dive on the mode itself and the first map, which we're calling Bridge, but that is the temporary name. The real name actually will be chosen by the players. So we're going to be running a community event to name the map. So after you play it in the upcoming preview, throw out your ideas. I think we're going to present a few options. I want to say I don't think we're doing mail-ins for this one. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ramil.
So in order for you to vote for the name you would like to see, you will join our Discord channel. Our community managers will be driving a voting event. We have 3 or 4 options. From there, you'll select one of the options is a team selected option, and 3 of them are other names that other folks around the team came up with. But we would like to hear from you on what name you would like to give this map. And if you have any other suggestions that are not part of it, feel free to start a Discord thread or just drop them in Discord. Our community manager will make sure that we get them and we get our eyes on them.
PG rated though, right? Probably.
Yes, please keep it PG rated.
And no Mappy McMap face, please.
So let's talk about Capture the Flag and what it looks like in New World. It's a 10v10 mode. The purpose is for you to capture your opponent's flag and bring it back to your base. And there will be combat going around the entire map. There's different new mechanics that we have also introduced to this mode. We have added jump pads and power-ups, which we'll talk about later on in the video. You will be able to access this new mode using the activity finder. The date range for the previews are also listed. So once the preview is completed, the mode will be disabled and no longer accessible through the activity finder.
Some people might be asking why CTF? Why is that the mode we're adding?
I think 2 of my main reasons are I think a lot of us in our youth played games with CTF modes in them, and it's just a very straightforward, especially compared to Outpost Rush. I feel like the complexity of that, the contrast with the simplicity of CTF is just refreshing. You can get in and out of those games pretty quickly, and so I tend to, with my simple mind, I tend towards simpler modes.
Yeah, so, OPR is what, on average about 25 to 30 minutes, and then anyone who really participates in 3v3 arena, it's a very high skill level mode. So for a new player or someone joining the game recently, especially after the console launch, for them, introduction to that is a little bit more harsh, and I think CTF is going to be more of a softer introduction to the PvP aspect of our game.
Yeah, and specifically, we don't have a lot of strictly PvP modes, right? Because OPR is obviously largely PvP, but it has the PvE element, and I know that some players just don't want any PvE in their PvP. CTF is very straightforward, like you said. It's just PvP. It's very quick games, get in and out. Actually, we can talk about the match duration. So it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes for regular play, and then there's actually, if there's a tie at the end, it goes into a 5-minute overtime.
And first point wins in overtime.
Right, and it is possible to have a tie. If at the end of the overtime you're still tied, it will end in tie. We did have some mechanics that we were experimenting with as tiebreaker mechanics. Those won't be active in this preview, but maybe a future preview. We could demo those if we do another one in Season 8. And potentially it's something, so for Season 9, CTF is going to come out for real. And so one of the things I think we're going to be looking for in the data is how many matches end in a tie, and do we want to experiment with other tie-breaking mechanics?
There's a lot of mechanic we have behind the doors that are tunable on the fly to understand and adapt to how the players are playing, which is, I think that's one of the strong aspects of how we did the double modes for CTF compared to some of our other modes. So I think that's going to be really good to see.
Let's talk a little bit about the maps now. So Brian, you want to talk about the process that like how did we arrive at this map?
So I think in OPR we start off with like 8 or so. On this one we started out with I think 4 to 5 different designs. In the end we were only shooting for 1, but 2 of them I felt like with our team we could get 2 of them done. I wanted to have my cake and eat it. So the first map we're starting with for CTF is, the working title is Bridge. Because it is a bridge. 2 tiers with the chasm in the middle. Used, I think, the Monarch's Bluff set. For this one, it's set atop Snowy Mountain Range and everything. A lot more sort of direct combat between the teams because you're really forced into that conflict right at the beginning. I think also the contrast with the visuals in both of the maps, yeah, I think it's going to work out really well.
I think one of the things that really helped us deliver 2 maps was the bridge being very simple. Which allowed us to get a second map, which was a little bit more complex, which is good because you have a simpler map for anyone kind of new to CTF or even just new to New World PvP. It's going to be simpler for them to kind of onboard, and I think it's a good choice that we are going with that during our first preview.
One of the things that I really like about the bridge map too is that we pulled the jump pads in, which seemed a little bit more gamey than a lot of New World, but it's a lot of fun. And I think the 2 tiers on the bridges just really it works out really well with the jump pads. I love
What
it.
are these jump pads you keep talking about?
You jump on them. You go higher.
I mean, I did mention the jump pads before, but yeah, we could go into a little more depth on them.
So there's we added awesome jump pads to this brand new game mode that will also be introducing possibly in the future game modes as well. There's 3 different types specifically for this map, which is bridge. There's a lot of verticality, so one of the unique jump pads for this map is a really high jump, which will kind of let you get from like the base ground level to the actual bridge level itself and create a lot of new ways to intercept the flag carriers as they're trying to approach your flag drop zones. But 2 other ones are like a long jump, which you can use to kind of cross different chasms and gaps into the map, cut players off. And then there's this amazing one, which is like a super long jump, which is really cool because you have some level of air control around that time as well. So you could crisscross the chasms. So you could jump from one area and kind of go under the bridge onto the other side, which is really cool. It almost lets you cover almost like a third of the bridge when it comes to that super jump.
Basically a combination between the high jump and the long jump is the super jump. For each of these, because I did mention these before, but like the kind of the use in this map. So in the bridge map, we talked about like it's like a 2-tier bridge, but it also has this kind of like chasm running down the middle of it on the lower side. And there's actually a surprise waiting for you at the bottom of the chasm.
Wait, did you see? What surprise are you talking about?
Spikes.
Oh, there's more down there.
There's other.
Oh, there's more stuff you guys add.
Easter eggs. So you, if
I'm gonna have to fly
if you
down
wanna,
there for the episode.
No, you gotta jump. Just like the players, they can't fly, so you gotta jump down.
Keep looking. There's some goodies down there.
So next time you get flung to your death in the middle of this spike pit, just make sure and look for that Easter egg before before
one
you
of the
respawn.
things I like most, and sorry to interrupt, but one of the things I like most about the jump pads is like a lot of people had strong opinions about it, how they should work, and it got a little contentious, and I love it when there's like really strong opinions and trying to find the best.
We tried multiple approaches. We tried like you walking up to it and it would just shoot you right away. But I feel like our game is a lot more calculated than a lot of other games with CTF mode. So you want a little bit more control over when you actually want to blast off to a different location.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about that in the last video. It's just like, having them automatically trigger just caused all sorts of problems. And you're not always you have enough to worry about without also worrying about whether you're going to back into a jump pad while you're repositioning.
I think
Yeah.
that the reason that I like that version, I think a little bit better, is because the way I play is so random and chaotic, and it doesn't I'm not good, so it doesn't really matter
whether you fling this way or that way. It's fine.
People flying through the air willy nilly.
Right.
But yeah, you guys are I'm sure you made the right call.
What's great
Players will
is,
tell us if we made a good call.
you can still shoot people. You can use a javelin toss while someone's flying, and one of the most satisfactory thing is when someone's jumping over the chasm and you javelin toss them right in the middle so they go down to the spikes. It's the best feeling ever.
Right.
Happens once in a million, but
Yeah.
it's great when it does.
I doubt I'll ever be able to do that.
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning the chasm, by the way. We got sidetracked. But yeah, like that chasm, having those long jumps to cross the chasm is like the primary use. And then in the next map, you'll find different uses for the jump pads. They were a lot of fun, I think, for our level design also, just to play with, they open up all sorts of opportunities. And you might even find jump pads in future content that's not related to CTF.
We should also touch on one of the other things that CTF is going to bring that's new to New World is power-ups in different game modes. So there's 3 different types of power-ups. There's like a haste, there's a damage, and there's a health boost. They're kind of distributed in different areas around the map. They are equal distance for both sides, so it doesn't feel like one side has an advantage over the other. The health one will give a temporary chunk of health. There's some additional damage boost, and then the speed one is you can get a small moment of speed, which is really good, is because when you are holding a flag, you're actually weighed down, so the speed boost really comes in use when it comes to that, because it will give you some additional boost to kind of get to turning that flag in.
Yeah, that's a good segue into the flag carrier mechanics, because that was another area that we had to iterate on a lot. Because the idea is that every class, every weapon combination can carry the flag. We didn't want it to be only tanks that carried the flag. So part of how we accomplished that was with a debuff that we apply to you. It will slow you, and it also increases the damage that you take, and some other various effects as well.
Also, it reduces the impact of the jump pad on you as well.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so the movement debuff actually it makes it easier for obviously pursuers to catch up with you, and you can't utilize the jump pads quite the same. So it creates different paths. There's more opportunities for someone to kind of jump over you and then come back. So yeah, that stuff was all really helpful for just balancing the mode.
We should also talk about, since we're on the topic of flags, we also iterated on the mechanic of picking up the flag. So we tried different things like instant pickup, a little time delay from anywhere from 1 second to a quarter of a second. Tried a lot of different things. I think for the preview we ended up setting it as a quarter second, I think it is, which will be a hold. You go up to a flag, you hold the interact for a quarter second, you'll get the flag, then you can kind of run. And what that kind of did is it eliminated a lot of the button mashing we have seen that comes out during the playtest, where someone would just go in and kind of just smash the button, and so it's like, oh, got it, okay. So it's a little bit more strategy to it now, where your team has to actually kind of work together to see who's going to be able to grab the flag.
There's more counterplay, more fighting that happens around the flag. We still wanted to make sure that you could have those situations though, where you could knock down some people and still pick up the flag before they could get you. Because those moments are cool, but we also didn't want it to be just kind of mosh pit of people and flag, and you just run and smash the button to get the flag.
Exactly.
So I think we reached a happy middle ground there.
Yeah, And most of the movement abilities on your weapons will also end up dropping the flag. So while you're
That's true.
playing the mode, be careful about things of that sort.
Yeah, that was another one of those things where we were seeing people basically just chain together movement abilities to go cross the entire map with the flag before you could do anything about it. And some of that stuff's fun for sure, but we, in the interest of kind of trying to, like I mentioned before, trying to maintain the flag carrier as like something that most people can do, most weapon classes. It was important to kind of stave off some of the OP-ness of.
Absolutely.
Oh God, I said that word. Sorry. That I did.
The banned word.
Yeah. It's just the way. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on to something that the players actually care about. When are they going to get get to play the map?
When? Yes. Tell us when.
So you'll get to play the map and the mode on May 16th to May 19th. It is a preview mode, so please do come join us. Any feedback you have, leave it in the comment section. Reach out to us over Discord. We are here. We are looking at all the feedback. We'll do another preview in the future as well, so we'll adjust based on the feedback. So your feedback is very valuable to us, and we do read it, we do analyze it, we make changes based on that. So please give us your feedback on how you like the mode, what do you enjoy the most about it, what you kind of want to see in the future, different variations of the same mode.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of our episode. We hope you enjoyed it. You can join us here in another 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about more upcoming modes and content, so please stay tuned for that. And we'd like to leave you with our community question. What I'd like to know is, after hearing everything that's coming in Capture the Flag, is there anything that you wish was different about the mode or the map? Please leave your suggestions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in Aeternum.
See you in Aeternum.
Your team has to deliver a flag to capture a flag and deliver it to your the opponent's base. No, your base. Sorry, I get up. Yeah, sorry.
That's why he keeps losing.
Yeah.